Some dramatic breaking news in the Israel-Hamas war tonight. 2 Americans who were being held hostage are now in Israel waiting to be reunited with their family after being released by Hamas. 59-year-old Judith Runnan and her 17-year-old daughter Natalie from Evanston, Illinois, were held captive since October 7th when Hamas attacked. They were visiting family on a kibbutz near the border with Gaza. Just an hour ago, Natalie's father told reporters how it felt to know that his daughter is safe.
I haven't been sleeping for 2 weeks. Tonight I'm going to sleep good. I spoke with my daughter earlier today. She sounds very good. She looks very good. She was very happy. And she's waiting to come home. Her mother has a little scratch on her hand, but she told me it's nothing. She's okay. I'm going to hug her and kiss her, and it's going to be the best day of my life.
After an earlier call with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, President Biden spoke with the Runnan family, telling them they will have the full support of the U.S. government as they recover from this terrible ordeal. The Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, thanked the Qatari government for assisting in their release and vowed that the U.S. would not stop trying to secure the release of all the hostages, including other Americans.
We share in the relief that their families, friends, and loved ones are feeling. But there are still 10 additional Americans who remain unaccounted for in this conflict. We know that some of them are being held hostage by Hamas, along with an estimated 200 other hostages held in Gaza. They include men, women, young boys, young girls, elderly people from many nations. Every single one of them should be released.
The majority of the 200 hostages are alive and still being held in Gaza, according to Israeli authorities. Israel continues to pummel Gaza with airstrikes. The Palestinian Health Ministry and other relief agencies continue to report more and more civilian deaths as Israel's military mobilizes for a potential ground invasion into Gaza. A spokesman for Israeli Defense Forces tells NBC News that the release of the hostages today has not changed their strategy, saying it's very focused on destroying Hamas. Humanitarian aid remains stalled at the Rafah crossing along the border of Egypt and Gaza, something President Biden addressed today.
I got a commitment from the Israelis and the President of Egypt that the crossing would be open. The highway had to be repaved because it was very bad shape. And I believe that within the next 24 to 48 hours, the first 20 trucks will come across with aid.
Joining us now from Tel Aviv is my colleague, the NBC News correspondent, Ellison Barber. Ellison, the last time I saw you, we were together in Israel, and so much has developed since then. Tell me how the calculus has changed with the release, or if it has at all, with the release of these 2 hostages.
You know, that was the big question tonight. And as President Biden was making his way towards Air Force One, reporters traveling with him asked him, do you want Israel to delay its ground offensive for more hostages to be released? He said yes, but then later the White House clarified, saying that he hadn't heard the first part of that question. They said he was only saying yes to whether or not he wanted more hostages to be released. But that's certainly a discussion people are having now. As you said, there are over 200 people still held inside of Gaza. The majority of them, according to Israeli officials, they are still alive. You have so many families hoping to have a moment like the one Natalie and Judith's families had tonight, where they found out they were alive, they found out they were safe, they found out they were coming home, and they're still desperately waiting for any indication that their loved ones are okay or where they are. Most people, they just don't know anything right now. Israel has been pretty adamant in saying that they plan to proceed with a ground assault into Gaza. They have talked about it at different points as it being imminent, and then it hasn't happened quite as quickly as a lot of people were expecting. But they still have over 300,000 troops amassed at the Israel-Gaza border, massive amounts of military equipment. And in the last couple days, Ali, we have heard Israel's Minister of Defense speaking to combat troops, infantry members who are there on the border, telling them, you have seen Gaza from the outside. Soon you will see Gaza from the inside. So in terms of their public posture, it doesn't seem like they're going to change what they're going to do next year. They're adamant that their end goal is to make sure Hamas never operates again. And they mean governing. They also mean militarily inside of Gaza. That being said, there have been families who have been outside of military headquarters in Tel Aviv prior to this, protesting, wanting their loved ones home, and frustrated that it hasn't happened yet. Ali?
Ellison, stay safe, my friend. Good to see you. Thank you tonight.